What if the lowest servant in a billionaire's mansion woke up one morning and became the king of it all? Not through theft, not through trickery, but through a secret so dangerous, it could destroy an entire empire. This is the story of how a servant became king overnight in one of Africa's richest families, a story of wealth, betrayal, and destiny you will never forget. Backhand index pointing right. Before we dive in, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss stories like this. The Adewale mansion in Lagos was no ordinary home. With over 20 bedrooms, Italian marble floors, crystal chandeliers imported from France, and fleet of exotic cars parked in the garage, it looked less like a house and more like a royal palace. Inside this grand home lived Chief Adewale, oil magnate, billionaire businessman, and patriarch of one of Nigeria's most powerful families. To the outside world, he was untouchable. But inside his gates, his family was a battlefield of secrets, betrayals, and silent wars. And in this palace-like home lived a servant boy. Chike. Chike was 24. Often at a young age, he had been brought into the Adewale household as a houseboy when he was just 13. He cooked, cleaned, served food, washed cars, and ironed clothes. He was quiet, respectful, and invisible, just another servant in the shadows of wealth. But what no one knew was that Chike carried a secret. A secret his late mother whispered on her deathbed. She had told him, "Chike, never forget who you are. You do not belong to the dust. One day, the truth will find you, and you will sit where kings sit." Chike didn't understand what she meant then. But soon, he would. Because while the Adewale children fought over money and inheritance, fate was preparing to thrust Chike into the spotlight in a way no one could have imagined. Chief Adewale had 4 children. Kemi, the eldest daughter, ruthless, sharp-tongued, and power-hungry. Colonel, the only son, arrogant, wasteful, and deep in debt despite his father's billions. Funk, the quiet middle daughter, more interested in her career abroad than family drama. Tolu, the youngest, still in university, spoiled and naive. Behind the gates of the mansion, the Adewale children constantly fought over who would control their father's empire. Board meetings ended in shouting matches. Family dinners were tense with insults. But in the middle of it all, Chief Adewale trusted no one. He kept his will hidden. Not even his lawyer or closest advisors knew who would inherit the empire when he was gone. And Chike? He was always nearby, serving drinks, clearing plates, polishing shoes, silently watching the storm within the family. One night, as Chike carried a tray of wine glasses into the living room, he overheard Kemi whispering to Connor, "If Baba dies without naming an heir, I swear, I will not let you take the empire. I know you've been gambling away money in Dubai. I will expose you." Connor laughed coldly. "Expose me if you dare. Baba trusts me more than you. Besides, there are ways to make a will disappear." Chike froze. His heart raced. The Adewale Empire was a ticking time bomb, and soon, an explosion was coming. What no one outside the mansion knew was that Chief Adewale was sick. Very sick. He had been battling a rare illness in silence for months, hiding it from the media and even from most of his children. Only a handful of people knew, his private doctor, and Chike, who often helped him late at night when the illness left him weak. "Chike," Chief Adewale said one evening, his voice strained as he lay in bed. "You are not just a servant to me. You are more loyal than my own children. Promise me something, when the time comes, protect this family's name." Chike bowed respectfully. "Yes, sir." But in his heart, Confusion stirred. Why would a billionaire speak such words to a servant? Chief Adewale reached for a drawer beside his bed and pulled out an envelope, sealed with his signature. He pressed it into Chike's hand. "Keep this safe. Do not open it until I am gone." Chike swallowed hard. His fingers trembled as he accepted the envelope. That night, he could barely sleep. What was inside? A secret. A confession. It happened suddenly. One stormy night, the mansion shook with chaos. Chief Adewale collapsed during dinner. The doctor was called, but within the hour, the great man was gone. The news spread like wildfire. Chief Adewale, billionaire oil magnate, dead at 67. Inside the mansion, the children wailed, but their tears quickly turned to suspicion. "Where is the will?" Kemi demanded. "I'm the only son." "Of course the empire is mine," Connor shouted. "Don't be foolish," Funk snapped, flying in from London the next day. The mansion was filled with lawyers, relatives, and vultures circling for a share of the fortune. But deep in Chike's room, hidden beneath his mattress, was the envelope Chief Adewale had given him. And inside it lay the secret that would change everything. 3 days after Chief Adewale's burial, the mansion was filled with chaos. Reporters camped outside the gates. Lawyers were summoned. Extended relatives, uncles, cousins, nephews, all came claiming a piece of the empire. Inside, the children turned on each other. "I know Baba left me the empire," Connor shouted, slamming the table. Kemi sneered. "You. With your gambling debts." Baba was not a fool. Funk rolled her eyes. "You two disgust me. Everything is always about money." Meanwhile, Chike sat quietly in his servant quarters, clutching the envelope. He hadn't opened it yet. His mother's words echoed in his mind, "One day, the truth will find you." That night, when the mansion had gone quiet, Chike lit a small lamp and carefully broke the seal. Inside was not just a letter, but a copy of Chief Adewale's will. Chike's eyes widened as he read the words. "To my loyal servant, Chike, you are not merely a servant. You are my blood. Many years ago, before my marriage, I loved a woman. From that love came you. I could not acknowledge you publicly, but I will not die leaving you in the shadows. You are my first son. You are my true heir. My empire belongs to you." Chike's hand trembled. His breath caught in his chest. He read it again and again, tears filling his eyes. Him. The son of Chief Adewale. The heir to billions. The servant boy was, in fact, the rightful king of the empire. The next morning, the lawyer gathered the family in the mansion's grand hall. The official copy of the will was supposed to be read aloud. But when the document was brought forward, it was missing pages. Torn. Altered. "This is nonsense," Kemi shouted. "Somebody tampered with it." Connor smirked, but said nothing. The lawyer shook his head. "Without the full will, the estate may fall into dispute. The court will decide." Chaos erupted in the hall. The children screamed at one another, accusing each other of foul play. And then, from the back of the room, a quiet voice spoke. "I have something," Chike said softly. Everyone turned. The servants froze. No one ever paid attention to Chike, the houseboy. "What are you doing here?" Kemi backed. Chike stepped forward, clutching the envelope. "Chief Adewale gave this to me before he died." The room went silent. The lawyer took the envelope, opened it carefully, and his jaw dropped. This is the original," he whispered. And then he read aloud the shocking truth, that Chike was not just a servant, but Chief Adewale's firstborn son, hidden from the world, now revealed as the true heir. The hall exploded. Gasps filled the air. Relatives shouted. Kemi screamed in rage. Connor cursed. Funk's eyes widened in disbelief. And Chike? He stood trembling, tears in his eyes. Overnight, the servant boy had become the king of the empire. But not everyone accepted it. You liar! Connor shouted, charging at Chike. You think you can come from nowhere and take everything? The lawyer raised his hand. This is legitimate. Chief Adewale signed and sealed it. Kemi slammed her fist on the table. I will never allow this. A servant ruling over me. Never. From that day, the Adewale mansion turned into a battlefield. Chike, though legally recognized as heir, found himself surrounded by enemies. His half-siblings plotted against him. Rumors spread in the media, servant claims to be Billionaire's son. Some called him an imposter. Others called him Destiny's child. Even within the mansion, the servants were divided. Some bowed in respect. Others whispered that Chike did not deserve it. At night, Chike would sit alone, staring at the stars, wondering if he was ready for the weight of the crown he never asked for. But destiny does not ask. It commands. One night, as Chike returned from a meeting with the board of directors, he noticed something strange. The lights in his room were off, though he had left them on. The moment he stepped inside, a shadow moved. A knife flashed. Chike barely dodged as the blade sliced past his chest. He struggled with the masked attacker until the guards rushed in. The intruder fled, but Chike had no doubt. This was no robbery. This was an assassination attempt. The next day, whispers confirmed what he feared. His half-siblings were desperate. Some had even reached out to shady contacts to remove the obstacle. Chike realized that if he was to survive, he needed more than just a will. He needed power. So he did something no one expected. He summoned the family elders. The chiefs. The men who had advised his father in business and tradition. And before them, Chike bowed deeply. I did not ask for this throne, he said. But my father's blood runs in me. And I will honor his legacy. The elders exchanged glances, then nodded. You have wisdom, boy. We will stand with you. From that day, Chike was no longer just the hidden son. He was the crowned heir, backed not only by the law, but by tradition. The day of the coronation came. Though this was not a kingdom in the old sense, it felt like one. The mansion's gates were decorated. The media gathered. Board members, elders, and family friends filled the hall. The lawyer read the will once more. The elders blessed him. And before the world's cameras, Chike Adewale was declared the new head of the Adewale Empire. From servant to billionaire. From shadow to light. Kemi and Connor sat bitterly in the crowd, their faces twisted with rage. But there was nothing they could do. The empire was no longer theirs. The boy they had ignored, insulted, and ordered around was now their king. In the months that followed, Chike transformed the empire. He paid off Connor's debts, not out of love, but to protect the family's name. He gave Kemi a seat on the board, though she still despised him. He built scholarships in his father's name, remembering his own days of poverty. The people began to respect him. Investors praised his humility. The media called him the servant king. But late at night, Chike often remembered his mother's last words, "You will sit where kings sit." Now he understood. His destiny had been written long before. From the dust of servanthood, he had risen to the throne of an empire. Not by greed. Not by betrayal. But by truth. And so the servant became king, overnight. And that is the story of Chike, the servant who became a king overnight in the mansion of one of Africa's richest families. What would you do if you were in Chike's shoes? Would you forgive your siblings or cast them out forever? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe for more gripping African tales. Until next time, thank you for watching our channel.